Stan was an incredibly gifted developer, and Stan came from an incredibly gifted, huge family. And his father, who was a career techie, and he had worked on big COBOL and Fortran mainframes in the 70s and 80s, and later went on to be one of the pioneers of extreme programming, had gifted him with early access to computers and books like Clean Code and designing data-intensive applications, and eventually Stan's coding skills came to far surpass those of his siblings. And this created infighting and jealousy in the family because naturally all 11 of his siblings knew how to code in one shape or form or another, whether it was in software or embedded or ML. But Stan was like a super 10x developer, completely cracked. And he had one remarkable talent. Through careful analysis, almost like stock trend prediction, he could predict failing patterns in large-scale architectures even before they were even written. Like, he had such a sixth sense for these things that he could just look at a couple of design documents that some other developer wrote and be able to intuit the mistakes that they would make in a new design. And one day he told his family, "I had the strangest dream last night. I saw my code base being pushed to 11 Git repositories simultaneously. And on each one of 11 pull requests, a distinguished engineer from a FAANG company left a thumbs up. What could this mean?" So Stan's siblings, who essentially chalked this up, this dream, they chalked it up to, basically, they said, is it even a real dream or is he just bullshitting? They just chalked it up to kind of just posturing. And they became even more jealous of his skills. And this, combined with the dad's obvious favoritism for Stan over his other siblings, pretty much sent them over the edge. So the next day, they went to their dad and they said, "Hey Dad, listen, if anyone in the family is really going to go out and go on to build something that matters, it's probably going to be Stan, right? He's obviously got the juice, he's got the most potential for greatness. So for us, it's okay if we forego our own inheritances in your will, and instead, let's just take all that money and just give it to Stan now, and he can use it to found his first company, so he doesn't need to raise VC funding. He can just blast off from day one." And the dad said, "Okay, if you're all sure, we can do that. If you're all absolutely sure." They said, "Yeah, we're sure. We've talked it over. Let's do it." So the dad said, "Okay, we can change the will and transfer the money. I'm out of town this weekend, but you guys can all use the conference room at my building on Saturday when it's empty, and you can all figure out the particulars and hash things out on paper." So Saturday rolls around, and Stan and his 11 siblings